Good morning, y'all. It's C, Trinae, CC, Sierra, whatever you want to call me. It is really warm outside today, but I just wanted to talk to y'all today about getting to know new people and dating. A word that comes to my mind is boundaries. I think a lot of people misconstrue boundaries, was feeling like they're restricted about certain things, if that makes sense. Boundaries are set in place to make sure things don't go outside of, how do I explain it? Things don't go outside of a safe space. So a boundary for me is being honest and truthful. It's not necessarily giving up all of your information about your past or your current. And it's also about being intentional. I'm one of those that if I feel like you're being dishonest, I disconnect right away. Um, I noticed that being single, a lot of people have this narrative that I don't owe nobody nothing. I'm single. I don't have to explain anything. But the thing is, when you're getting to know someone and depending on the level of intimacy or the level friendship or relationship you're at, you definitely do. You don't owe anybody a lot, right? Like if you're dealing with multiple people on a physical level or even on a dating level, the other person deserves to know that. They deserve to know what you expect, what your expectations are. I think a lot of people feel like they could just treat people how they want. And I do feel like there are a lot of people that allow people to treat them a certain way, causing people with standards and boundaries to have a hard time meeting people or even dating people. I also feel like we have to get to a point to where we're honest with ourselves. A lot of us, and I know I have to, offer relationship everything, devotion, loyalty, even down to relationship sex, if we're being honest. A lot of things that we offer people, we shouldn't be giving it to them unless we have a certain level of commitment. And then we get upset when people don't reciprocate it or when people flee. Another thing I'm learning about being single too is you can't change people. You can't make people want what you want. You can't make them see you for the value that you know you have. I feel like me being the age I am now, I'm learning to, like I always say, like who likes me, right? I'm learning to only pursue or be pursued by those who are supportive, honest, of course, God fearing, and most of all, pouring into me. That's the most important thing. Being able to have conversations outside of like sex and social media. Like, can we connect on a spiritual level, intellectual level? What are your goals? Tell me what you aspire to do as far as breaking generational curses. I like to have open conversations. You know, I'm really big on like sense of humor. Like I love to laugh. I find humor in everything. And I always say if a man can make me laugh, he won me right there. Um, I'm learning at my age too, I get bored easily. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you got to go out of your way for me and do all these expensive things. But you have to have a certain level of, I don't know, interesting things about you, and you have to offer things or you have to express your interests as well. I like, having conversations. I don't know, just having intimate talks about things that I know that other person would be comfortable sharing with anyone else. It's something about that. Sharing your dreams with someone. I don't know, y'all, and I feel like everyone is scared, including me. Like I'm still afraid of getting hurt because of things I've been through in the past. But we all got a story. But I think we gotta stop straddling the fence. It's like we want a good person, but we don't want to settle down with them. Or we want a good person, but we don't want to show our hand or be emotionally vulnerable. That's not how it works. I think we take risk every time we go out, get in our cars, go to these jobs, go out, to these lounges, the movies, church, wherever we go. So I feel like for me, if I could give any advice to anyone, including myself, we got to learn to take risks. Most of all, God needs to be involved in everything you do. If God is not in it, like I said on a previous reel, it's not going to work. Or, God doesn't dwell where confusion does. That does not mean it's going to come right away. Things are going to be your way. I think that a lot of times we don't realize the people that we need in our lives are the ones that bring challenge. You know, anytime you meet someone and you're automatically comfortable and you're like, oh, I can settle for this, you know, there's no changes that have to be made, that's not the person for you. I'm learning in my current phase that I need someone that motivates me to want to be a better person indirectly. And it's not them like constantly being in my ear or, you know, being on me, whether it's about weight loss or being more confident in myself. But it's more so seeing them accomplish their goals, right? Or them even asking me about the things I want to do and being interested in me leveling up or the betterment of myself. Um, we get so caught up on like the financial benefit of being in a relationship or a marriage. I don't care who you are. Everybody's going through a storm one way or another has with, you know, finances and the economy right now. And I think we all need to focus more on who is willing to understand us, you know, love us unconditionally, and encourage us to be a better person. Me, honestly, I don't want to deal with a person that tells me what I want to hear. I want to deal with someone who tells me the truth, even when I don't like it. And I'm going to be real with y'all. A lot of women don't take accountability or don't want to be criticized. And I think that's why a lot of us remain stagnant or don't have the successful relationships we have. We want to be in control, and that's not meant for us to do. The leadership role is meant for a man in a relationship. And me, in the current space I'm in, I want a man to lead. I want to submit. I just won't submit to any man. I'm also learned, or been knowing, we all as women have a feminine space, you know, a feminine or soft girl, you know, inside of us, but it's certain energies that bring them out. I'm learning that a confident man does that. You know, a man that's not afraid of a person like me. I have a very strong personality. I don't bite my tongue. I wouldn't say I'm outspoken. It's just like I'm just like the life of the party and like a colorful person. But meeting someone who's just like, oh, you're not gonna talk to me like that, or you're not gonna give me no attitude. You're gonna speak to me, and we're gonna talk things out. That'll quiet it down a little bit and make you realize, okay, if I want to receive this energy or if I want to be loved a certain way, I have to listen. And I feel like a lot of times when we're getting to know people, even if we're not at the current dating phase, we don't listen. We're so afraid to be told what to do. We feel like we're weak if we're listening. We feel like we're weak if we're vulnerable. And I'll be honest, I've always thought that being vulnerable was weak until recently. I feel like once you find that safe place, embrace that, you know, don't take it for granted, acknowledge it, but also nurture that safe space, that place of vulnerability, because it's rare. There are a lot of people out here that just want your energy, your body. They don't want your time. They just don't want you to be with anybody else. And I think that we also have to love ourselves so that people will love us the way that we deserve. I cannot remember who the speaker was, y'all, but it sat with me for so long. And she just basically said the way or the men or women that you attract are a reflection of you. So if you allow a person to mistreat you, you don't love yourself. And that is the honest to God truth. And I'm not saying that everyone has to have rules dealing with me, but I have boundaries. And there are certain things I didn't deal with. Lying, I can't deal with. Inconsistency, I can't deal with. Like shady jokes, I can't deal with. Verbal abuse, downing oneself or downing me, or throwing shade, I can't deal with that. Insecurity, those are things I can't deal with. A lot of people focus on financial difficulties. Those are things that can be worked on. You can teach a person how to make money, but you can't teach a person how to treat you. I don't care what anyone says. I'd rather have a man who is working on the betterment of himself and not necessarily struggling, but moving and progressing and treats me like a queen, than a man with money that is controlling and is an asshole. That's just me being honest. I feel like we need to acknowledge those things. Also, being alone is not a bad thing. Being single is not a bad thing. No, I don't want to be single forever, but I feel like a lot of times we rush from person to person, or we go back to these old flings and energies just to damage ourselves further. We got to stop doing that, y'all. we're creating more baggage. We need to be patient with ourselves. Take time out and ask ourselves what we want. Stop wasting our time and people's time. If you know you only want casual dealings with someone, let it be known up front. That's not to say that some people still won't try to change your mind, but just be adamant. If you know you don't want a relationship, don't give relationship this or that. Don't go on dates. Don't spend a lot of time with this person. If you know that's what you want to build progressively, give a person parts of you progressively. You can't give it all at once. Stay dangerous, stay unpredictable, and be an experience. One of my best friends, I love him to death. I love you, Pete. He taught me to be an experience. He told me I was an experience. And I carried that with me because, yes, I know physically I may be shapely, or I, keep my hair done and, maybe keep my feet done and, brows and lashes from time to time. But internally, I'm a funny person, resourceful person, intelligent person, spiritual person. I'm pretty much an all around, flexible woman. And I know that wholeheartedly. So, and that's rare. Like being able to have a conversation with a woman where it's not about her being behind on her bills, her loving hip hop baddies, and this is no slight to y'all. That's rare. A lot of women play victim, sorry to say. And then there are men who do it too. But I know for me, being who I am now, that's what I'm going to be. So ladies, men, if you know you're a high value person, which is low maintenance, be that. But from the jump, let your boundaries be known. There's nothing wrong with telling a person how you feel and telling them the things that you expect. You can't go in with the go with the flow mindset, because to me, that's how people get hurt. You expect a person to be ready for certain things that they're not, and you are. If you all are not on the same page, move around. Pray about everything. Pray until something happens. I'm really big on that. I pray multiple times a day, right? Because we really don't know people's intentions. You could be around a person every day for years and not really know their true feelings for you. I've learned that a person of action, right, teaches you more than a person of words. Like the whole I love you thing. I haven't really heard I love you in a while. I don't have to hear from